Hello Hanjikidon, what's up people? Back with another video, and today we're reviewing Nottingham Forest 1, Ipswich Town 0. Before we get into anything, you know we gotta do the shout outs. Massive shout outs to Angel Care Homes for all your care needs in the Black Country and Birmingham area. Massive shout outs to Mark Darcy for all your formal menswear needs. And of course the Desi Ballers highlighting all South Asians at all levels in the beautiful game. I'll put their details in the description. Make sure you check them out, and if you're brand new here, make sure you smash the like button, and if you ain't already, hit the subscribe button and turn the notifications on. Now let's get to it. So it finished Nottingham Forest 1, Ipswich Town 0, and it's a Chris Wood penalty that was the deciding goal, and on reflection it probably was a fair result. I'll get into details in terms of how I saw the match unfold and player ratings, and Doughnut of the Day is back this week. But I just want to say a little something about the ground itself, because obviously it's a stadium that's got a lot of history. Obviously as a club they've got massive amount of history. Some of the things they achieved in the past, you know, we could only dream of. And it's a club that I've always kind of admired. So it was nice to go and actually go to the City Ground, because I've never been there before. Mad as it is, because it's only down the road. Every time we've played them, there's either been a wedding, a party, we've been out of the country, or I just been able to get tickets. So I was happy I was finally able to tick that off. That's now Stadium 61, I think. So yeah, nice little stadium. Don't hate me, Forest fans, but doesn't look a lot from the outside, but it is nice when you're inside. It hasn't got that, you know, that new modern stadium bowl feel or whatever. And I like the way the fans were. You could create a good atmosphere between the home and away fans, because there was obviously home fans either side of us and kind of above us. They were quiet until they obviously got that goal, and in the second half they were in voice all half really, but first half they were pretty quiet. But yeah, you know, nice stadium, very close to Notts County. I didn't realise how close Notts Forest and Notts County are. Is there any other football clubs that are that close to one another? I'm just trying to think. So I know Everton and Liverpool are close, but not that close. I don't know. Who else is closer? If you know, tell me in the comments, man, because I genuinely don't think there's anyone or any clubs that are closer to one another than Notts Forest and Notts County. So in terms of lineups, both teams had the formation we predicted in the preview. There were two changes to both teams from the one that I predicted. So for Forest, that Dominguez, the Argentinian lad, I think he's Argentinian. He's a CDM, isn't he? But the midfielder, he come out, and Elliot Anderson come in, and Elanga dropped to the bench, and Jota Silva obviously started, and it was a bit of a thorn in our side throughout that game. And then for us, although I was expecting Greaves to start, Burgess kept his place, probably the right thing anyway. And I was very happy to see that, and it's nothing against Wes Burns, it's just that I love Connor Chaplin, and I think he should be playing in the Premier League week in, week out. So I was happy to see him play and start in that number 10 role. So then kicked off, and it was almost deja vu to Super Sunday against United. First couple of minutes, and I think it's Anderson that has a cross, and Morgan Gibbs-White, he's got a bit of a free header. From a Forest fan, I'm thinking he should be doing a lot better. He doesn't even get it on target, and it goes wide. Although some of the stadium did think it was on target and started cheering and celebrating a goal, which obviously it wasn't. And then a couple of minutes later, Delap's up the other end. He has a shot, which is then blocked and goes out for a corner. So it was kind of back and forth. And it was like that for most of the first half. From that corner, we have a chance, and they clear their lines, and then they hit us on the counter. And then Axel makes a bit of a tactical foul, gives him a yellow card. So the referee gives him a yellow card, which then I guess sets the tone, or so you'd think sets the tone for what's going to be given and not given throughout the game. But we'll get on to Mr. Tony Harrington, the Premier League referee, a bit later. And then a couple of minutes later, they work it from their right wing to the back post, so to our left side. Hudson-Odoi has it. He tries to have a shot. It gets blocked. The rebound falls to Elliot Anderson, who's about 12 yards out. He's more or less like penalty spot. He has a shot, and Schmodic clears it off the goal line. So yeah, that's 7 minutes gone, and you're thinking there's two big chances here that Forest have already had. This might be a long afternoon if we don't start playing football soon. In about the 20th minute, maybe, Axel and Amari double up on one of the lads on that right wing. Axel wins it and plays it through to Amari. Amari does what he does best. He just skips away, carries that ball, and then he plays a ball through. And then Doughnut then gets into the area, and it looks like he was fouled. And I'll be honest, I ain't watched Match of the Day. I ain't seen any highlights or any replays or whatever. I've just seen what I've seen from my seat, or where I'm standing, if you like. So it looked like Doughnut was collided with. It looked like he'd been, knee on knee or whatever. But referee said no foul. And that would be a sign of things to come when it comes to the referee and decisions against us. And then around the half an hour mark, Connor Chaplin has his tactical injury, if you like. So he goes down. And then he, obviously we have a little bit of a team talk at that point. And almost a couple of minutes later, Doughnut skips away, plays it across to Amari, who's out on space on the right wing. Amari cuts inside, has a shot, it's low, keeper parries it, and just no one's there. Like, the defender gets there before Doughnut can get there. So they clear their lines, and it's just like, almost. And then a couple of minutes later, Nico Williams has a free kick for them, which goes wide. I don't think, and even if it was on target, I think Muric covers that anyway. And then just before half-time, Morgan Gibbs-White was desperate for that thing over there. See that match-worn shirt? He wanted Sammy's shirt. He was desperate for it. He was grabbing his shirt, all the rest of it. And he was talking a big game, man. He used to be all right at Wolves, man. I used to like the guy, but from what I know of him, and obviously, so just concentrate on your football, lad. You're doing a good job at Nottingham, and just wind your neck in, really, innit? But yeah, man, half-time goals, talking to a few lads at half-time, and everyone was in the kind of same mode, like, yeah, man, this is a good half so far. We've probably edged it. I thought, we were the better team. We weren't making those chances count, you know what I mean? So let's see what we can do in that second half. And then second half, nightmare start, really. Literally, it must have been about the 47th minute the foul's committed, because the penalty goes in at 49th. So, and there's a bit of delay, all this and the other. So it must have been almost from kickoff. And penalty, soft foul, but it is a foul. My criticism, though, and this is where I come to Mr. Tony Harrington and his donut of the day, as you can guess. It's the same foul that happened against Clark at Everton at home, and that wasn't given. That went to VAR and wasn't given. So I don't understand how now it is deemed a foul. If it's exactly the same foul that happened a few weeks ago and was said by VAR as no foul, so no penalty, how have the rules suddenly changed in a couple of weeks? And this is my gripe with PGMOL and VAR as a whole. It's not the technology, it's not even the rules, it's just the consistency, and the people upholding those rules ain't got a Scooby. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit anyway. But yes, it was a foul. And like I said, Jack Clark was fouled in the Everton game, and I thought that was a foul as well. So I'd be a bit of a hypocrite if I didn't say that that was a penalty. Was it soft? Yes. But there's contact, so it's a penalty. Does Sammy Szmodics need to go in and win that? Probably not. But on the flip side, Jota Silva is skipping through our players, and he's probably a second away from firing a shot off. So, it's one of those. If it had the shot and it had gone in or whatever, we'd have probably said, why is Szmodics not gone in for the tackle? So, it's one of those that you can't, and I hope people don't get on his back. And I haven't seen anything, which is good, because it's just an unfortunate one, man. This is football, man. This is the speed of the Premier League, and Nottingham Forest are a good Premier League team. They're the only team to beat Liverpool this season. And then the penalty, good penalty down the middle. I wouldn't say it was anything special. It's just power straight down the middle. I think all his penalties have been down the middle. I could be wrong. I don't know. Forest fans, if you're watching, let me know. But yeah, penalty was straight down the middle. And with that, Chris Wood has now equalled Brian Roy's Premier League goal scoring record of 24 goals. So Brian Roy scored 24 Premier League goals, and now Chris Wood has for Nottingham Forest. And obviously he'll go on to score more and more. What's he on now? 9 for this season, is it? So, he's having a really good season. And then after that, we were getting down the wing, but they defended so well. And that's what Nuno does. He makes them very compact and hard to break down. So we were getting some joy out in the wing, ball coming into the box, it was getting dealt with. Their two centre backs won everything. And then the chances that we did get, ball comes out. Whoever, when the ball comes out to the edge of the area and you want someone to smash the ball, you want it to be Jack Taylor. And even he dragged the shot wide, and you're thinking, bloody hell, if Jack Taylor is dragging his shot wide, then we really are off it today. And then Jack Clark, he has a chance, which really I think he should be doing better. He gets it on target, but doesn't really seem to have a lot of power on it. And then, Forest just continue to defend well. And to be honest, had it been 0-0, maybe there'd have been a bit more space for us and we could have got something. But after that penalty, Forest just defended really well. And you felt that if needed, Forest could step it up a little. I mean, the fact that they then brought on Elanga as well, he was a player, like I said before, I highly rate and I wanted us to sign. And they were able to bring him off the bench, and that Jota Silva just, had a phenomenal game anyway. Just shows that they had the talent and the depth, and I think that's the difference that we have as clubs in terms of where we are. So, Forest have really kicked on this season. Like I said, they're the only team to beat Liverpool and went to was it Anfield or was it home? Can't remember, but they went and beat Liverpool. No other team's done that. And, they're sitting, where are they, like 6th, 7th maybe? They're sitting up there. They could, realistically, they could go get one of those Europa Conference leagues or something like that. And 3 years ago, they were newly promoted and fighting a relegation battle. So, whilst we look at teams like Brentford and Bournemouth, Forest are another team that we can look at to emulate. Yes, they signed a lot of big players and a lot of money was spent and maybe wasted, think of the Lingard transfer and stuff like that in terms of wages. But, they're 3 years later, they are now firmly, they're going to be comfortable. They're not looking at relegation. Like last season, they were looking at a relegation battle. Was it last season? Yeah, last season they were looking at a relegation battle, right? But they, again, finished comfortable. And now their aspirations are going to be, we can kick on for Europe. So, fair play, and I hope Nottingham Forest do. Just as long as they don't take 3 points off us again at Portman Road later on in the season. So let's get to some player ratings then. Muric, really good game from him. Getting better and better each game. Distribution getting better. Still losing my nails when we're playing from the back, and he likes to goad the players, like the opposition players on. But look, really good. So, he made some good saves as well. Tipped the ball over the bar a couple of times. Catching practice as well. Commands that area really well. So yeah, solid from the big man there. And who was that a Forest player trying to start Muric at the end? Because when Muric went up for the headers for the corner, and then the ball come back in after it was cleared, one of their players tried to square up to Muric, and it was like a son squaring up to his dad. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, Aro is not that guy you want to square up to. He's a beast. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, good performance from him. Leif Davis, solid from him as well. There was a lovely part in the second half towards the end, and their player comes to get the ball. It's in the box, and Davis just shoulder barges him, and he goes flying. Like, the strength on Leif is amazing. He's got to be in that England team sooner rather than later. A bit quieter by his standards in terms of going forward, but I think he had to do a job defensively, and he did it quite well. So, yeah, good performance from Leif. Burgess, obviously, I thought Greaves would come back in, but Burgess had been good the last couple of games, and again, solid. Headed everything, won everything. A few times, obviously, a good battle between him and Chris Wood. A few times, I think Wood maybe got the better of him, but I think Burgess recovered quite well. So yeah, really good, solid performance from our Scottish Aussie on St Andrew's Day. I think it was St Andrew's Day yesterday, wasn't it? And big up all the Scotland Town fans or the Scottish Town fans on St Andrew's Day. O'Shea, quality, isn't he? Pace, passing, power, he's got it all, man. Never really got beaten. And again, with Burgess, had a good battle with Chris Wood. Becoming a real solid centre back in the Premier League. And 8 million's looking a bit of a steal at the moment. Big Axe, I think he's kept that stat up now, isn't it? Still, where he's played all those 3 games now, and he ain't been dribbled past once. Like, you do not get past Big Axe. Obviously, he had a bit of a hamstring tweak, or looked like it when he went off. So obviously they'll get the scanned, and he'll have the physio and all the rest of it, and doctors and all that. So sure we'll find out maybe later today or tomorrow. When's the Crystal Palace press conference? We'll find out then. Jens Kajust, again, that partnership with Sammy's looking really good. Did kind of tire towards the end, so obviously it was right to bring on Taylor. Although I thought at the time, I was like, why is he bringing Jens off, man? Jens is playing really well. But there were some tired passes there and a bit, I wouldn't say sloppiness, but it could have crept into becoming sloppy. So I think that was good tactical and not man management, but good tactical management from Kieran McKenna there. Sammy Morsey, for me, he's up there for man of the match. Just sets the tone time and time again. Won everything, battled with everyone, and really drove us forward as a team. We just were missing that final killer third, if you like. So that killer shot, pass, whatever. But yeah, for me, he's up there for man of the match. Schmodix, bit quiet from Sammy going forward. Normally we're accustomed to Sammy Schmodix turning up at away games as well. Obviously, all his goals have come away from Portman Road this season. But a bit quiet, certainly by his standards, but, defensively very solid. And that's what I like about Sammy Schmodix in the team is the way he can track back, he can defend, makes a brilliant goal line clearance, but unfortunately gives away the penalty. So look, if he didn't go in for the tackle, Jota could have gone in and maybe had a shot and maybe scored. But then on the flip side, he makes a goal line clearance in the first couple of minutes of the game. Connor Chaplin, for me, up there for man of the match as well. I've been saying for week in, week out, we need Chaplin in the starting 11. Like, Chaplin is Premier League ready. The way Premier League football is, you think about the passing of it, you think about, there was a lovely part, and I got it on the vlog, so if you haven't seen it, go to the vlog, watch it. It's in the first half. Chappers gets the ball, skips past 1, skips past 2, finds a beautiful pass. And he was so unlucky, man, because he had a chance, the ball breaks to him, and it's almost like he's going across and he's just going to smash it. And I think the lap takes it off his toes. But yeah, he was so unlucky, man. That Premier League goal is coming for Connor Chaplin, I'm telling you. Like, that is coming soon. Within that next block of 3 fixtures, I think Chaplin scores a goal. That's my prediction. And big up the whole Chaplin family, man. And you know what? I've forgotten his dad's name, man. But I remember seeing his dad and his younger brother, and obviously I think his little sister or whatever, and family. They're all there. When we were in League One, I remember Barnsley away, celebrating with them too, with the dad and the brother after Chaplin scores in front of us. Peterborough away, these kind of, League One journey. And now that's got to be an amazing feeling for them as a family to see, their family, their son, brother, whatever, go through the ranks and turn up and perform, because, like I said, he was one of our best players on the pitch, man. So yeah, really good performance from Connor Chaplin. Starboy Amari, for me, another one up there for man of the match. That first half when Forest were really putting the pressure on us and really kind of camping in our half, really, Amari was the kind of outlet that we had. He would get the ball, he would skip past 1, skip past 2. We know what he's like. We know he's got a bag full of tricks. We know he can beat a man and then beat him again and then beat his pal and his pal as well. Like, he's got that in his locker, and he's got the shot, and the cross or the end product, whatever you want to say. Won a couple of corners, Probably unlucky not to score, skips past his man and has that shot that probably could have gone bottom corner. Keeper kind of parried it away. And, it was a good shot because if it was a weak shot or whatever, keeper would have been able to hold it. So it was a decent enough shot to the point that it got parried away. But yeah, man, solid performance from Starboy Omari. Doughnut, unlucky a few times, found himself in some shooting positions, couldn't really get the shot off or it got blocked. Still not sure what happened with that penalty shout, if he was fouled or not. But, seeing how soft the penalty, and like I said, it was a penalty on Yotta for Forest, then, maybe it should have been the same for Doughnut there. So yeah, unlucky from him, but again, he's playing a lot of football and we really need to wrap him in cotton wool. I thought he'd probably end up coming off for Ali Al-Hamadi at some point with Palace on the horizon, but McKenna is, never say die, and there was some hope. But yeah, I'm sure that, get a bit of rest, and I'm sure Doughnut will be raring to go in on Tuesday. So the subs, we had Burns. I thought Burns did all right. He's a strong runner, so it was a good decision to bring him on. Who else come on? Jack Taylor. I thought, again, Jack Taylor, solid in the midfield. It was the right decision because Karius was looking a bit tired. So decent performance from him. Unlucky really not to get that shot on target. Harry Clark, obviously come on for Axel, defended quite well. Didn't really have too much to do going. There wasn't really a lot of time for him to do a lot. Who else did we have? Of course, Nathan Broadhead. I thought he did well when he come on. He just offers something a bit more. I think he's that. For me, he needs to be getting a bit more football. We know what he can do in League One and Championship, and how many goals did he get last season? I think he was our joint top goal scorer, wasn't he? It just seems that now he's fit. It's a good option to have on that left wing. Take Schmodics off, bring him on. It's not a criticism against anyone else. It's just we know what Broady can offer. So it's really good to see Nathan Broadhead make his that would have been his town Premier League debut, wouldn't it? Yeah, not his Premier League debut because he played for Everton once upon a time, I think. But yeah, good to see him in the Premier League in a town shirt. And he did well. I think he had a couple of crosses almost immediately. And I think one then comes back out to the other sub, Jack Clark, who obviously fires straight at the keeper. Now, Jack Clark, I thought he did okay. So, with that, there's a lot of expectations when he signed. And look, has it been a slow start to his town career? Yes. Does that mean he's bad? No, not at all, right? And like I said before, I think it was a Tottenham game, I was really impressed with Jack Clark's defensive side. And he showed that again yesterday. I thought he defended quite well, tracked back with his man, was able to win the ball, get us out of our defensive third as well and carry us up the pitch at times. So, dribbling and all the rest of it, I thought he did quite well. He just needs that goal or assist. He's clearly a player lacking confidence. And he's unlucky because, that shot, maybe in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, that shot goes back to the net. But it was on target. It wasn't an awful shot. It just didn't really test the keeper. But as Town fans, we have this weird obsession about scapegoating players. I've never understood that. Like, you back these players. You want these players to perform for our team. Yet we're going to go talk shit about them online or whatever. And you don't think that they read this, or they'll have a family member or a friend saying, "Oh, have you seen this? What the hell? Blah, blah, blah." They don't need that negativity, man. Look, we need people's confidence high. Yes, Clark started slow, but I'm sure he'll provide the goods soon, you know what I mean? Like, a goal or assist is due for Jack Clark soon, man. Just stop scapegoating players, man. It just makes you guys look like a dickhead. So then, man of the match, if we do it in 3-2-1, yeah? So third, I got to put Starboy Omari. Again, very good going forward. Unlucky not to score. I think as a team, that second half we faded off going forward. We didn't really offer much of an attacking threat. And then obviously Omari was subbed off as well. So that's why I've put him at third place. Second, and for me, it's only just misses out. And it's purely because he was subbed off as well, but it's Connor Chaplin. I thought Chappers was fantastic. Really love seeing him in the Premier League with us. I think he just adds something to us as a team going forward. And defensively, pressing, tracking back, all of that goodness. He's got it in abundance. And he's Premier League quality, man. Like, I don't need to keep saying it to you. You guys are seeing it. Last week before, whenever he's played this season and come off the bench, or did he start? I think he started against Liverpool, didn't he? But whenever he's played for us this season, he has not looked out of his depth. He's looked like a Premier League player, man. And as I've said a million times before, Premier League football suits Connor Chaplin to a T. So yeah, man, big up Connor Chaplin. But he just missed out purely because he was subbed off. And then man of the match, the main man, Mr. Sammy Morsey. Really controlled everything in the midfield, set the tone, let them know, look, hey, you want to tackle, we can tackle as well. Didn't let the fact that Morgan Gibbs-White wanted his shirt all game affect Sammy's game. So solid performance from the skip, from the Egyptian king, if you like. And of course, another game where he didn't get a yellow because he is walking that tightrope, isn't he, at the moment? So yeah, man of the match, Mr. Sammy Morsey. So today's donut of the day is none other than Tony Harrington. I was going to give it to Morgan Gibbs-White because, look, you should know that you can't swap shirts until after the game. But instead, we're going to keep it in true tradition with the referee, and it's Mr. Tony Harrington, who's today's donut of the day. Tony Harrington, who's only refed about 28 Premier League games, and you could see why, like, he's fairly new to it. He's a bit of a naive ref. It was conned multiple times, and the consistency, I don't care if a referee is too harsh in a game or too soft in a game. All I ask is you're consistent. So on one hand, you are booking us for every foul we make, yet on the other hand, they're getting away with every foul, and the only booking you gave was to Morgan Gibbs-White when he tried to square up to Sammy, and that's only because you had to, and you gave it reluctantly, we could see. It's disappointing because Anthony Taylor last week was arguably one of the best referees I'd seen since COVID. And now you got this donut who, on one hand, Karius doesn't connect with a man, you give a foul. And then on the other hand, the same foul happens to Amari and you don't give it. And I don't understand it. Like, have you got, I don't know, man. Like, I don't understand where the consistency is. And it's not VAR. I'm not here to moan about, it's not a penalty. Yeah, it was a penalty. But on the flip side, VAR as a whole gave the same penalty scenario and situation. They gave it as no penalty when Jack Clark was fouled against Everton a couple of weeks ago when we played Everton. So how can that now be a penalty? Don't get me wrong, I agree it should be because there's contact, but VAR had already said that these types were not penalties. So again, I don't get it, man. But really confusing on the whole what, is classified as a penalty and isn't classified as a penalty. But yeah, Mr. Tony Harrington, you, sir, are the donut of the day. So, on reflection, like I said, it was a fair result. I think Forest were the better team over the course of 97 odd minutes or whatever it was. And I don't think we did a lot in that second half to really get anything back out of that game. There were obviously positive signs, good opportunities getting forward against a very good Forest team. Let's not forget Forest are the only team that have beaten Liverpool this season. They are firmly up there for a reason. I think they will get a Europa, not Europa, what's the other one? Conference, the conference place. I think they could do that. And I'd back them. And like I said, it's a club I've got a bit of admiration for. And yeah, the confidence for us is that I don't think we were at our best. Yet it was a penalty that decided the game. So, if we've got a big 3 games coming up now. We've got Palace on Tuesday at home. It's a massive game. We have to win that. Draw is not good enough. We need to win that. Bournemouth then come to Portman Road on the Sunday. So we've got 2 home games back to back. We've got to get a point out of Bournemouth. I'd love to say we'd get 3 points out of Bournemouth, but they just went to Wolves and hat-trick Kluivert. A hat-trick of penalties for Justin Kluivert, the son of Patrick Kluivert. and I think he's the first person to ever score hat-trick of penalties. But yeah, obviously they just blew Wolves away at Molineux, so you know they clearly travel away well. And then a big game against Wolves away at Molineux. And we got to do that, man. We got to do them because I've got too much family in the stands there that are going to be supporting Wolves. But and just a quick one in terms of videos coming out this week and when they're dropping. So, I mean, to be fair, you should all be turning your notifications on so you know when they're dropping, right? But I'll give you a nice little dates for your diary if you like. So, match day -1 or -2 if it's a Sunday game. We'll always put out a match preview. Match day itself, we'll get the vlog out, even if it's late in the evening. We'll make sure we got that out on the match day itself. And then match day +1 is when you get this in-depth review with myself, my thoughts, whatever you want to call it from there, man. And yeah, man, big up all you legends that have subscribed to this channel. We're at 1.1k. And like I said, I want to hit 5k. And it's looking a bit tough, but I know there's so many more legends that watch this and don't subscribe. And yeah, don't forget to put your thoughts in the comments as well, because all of that helps all that voodoo with the YouTube voodoo, or the algorithm and all that, puts our views higher and all of that in the searches. So yeah, man, make sure you put your comments in. And of course, if you ain't already, make sure you hit subscribe, smash the like, and turn the notifications on. And I'll catch you all tomorrow. See you later, peeps.